Good day, folks. So this is a response video to the eccentric man's thoughts on this new epic scale Warlord Games ACW stuff. So before I get into that, all my thoughts, I just thought I'd quickly show you these ones that I've already painted. So this is the Union troops. Now when I first did these, I've got to be honest, I really wanted to hate these models. For reason my own. If you speak to me on Discord or watch the GM's Alcove, you'll know why. But yeah, I'm not going to get into that. So that's them, guys. But as I painted more and more of them, I've grown to like them quite a lot now. They have grown on me. I do like them. Damn it. Anyway, I won't bring them all forward. So that's the ACW, that's the Union troops. What I've done, I copied this off another YouTube video I've seen. I chopped all the hats up, so all my Union troops have got kepis to make them look a lot more uniform. I will go into all the paints I used right at the end of the video for anybody that's interested in that, but just in case you're not interested, let's put them to one side slightly, because I've also painted the first artillery piece. Might got the green slightly wrong. So that is, let's get them spinning, the Union. So I bought two War Games Illustrated magazines so I could do Union and Confederates. So the Union, pretty straightforward. And I'll just let this come back round and I'll put the Confederates out. So, the Confederates. So this is for my second sprue. And I've done the Confederate half as well. Half? I've done some Confederates. So what have I done here? So I've mixed up the colours, so I wanted to give them a real late war feel, but I'm just using a few different coloured jackets and trousers and whatnot. And the other thing I've done, which I've done with the other one as well, is I've converted it, so I've put the little command guy that you get in the middle of the unit, and that's dead simple to do. Just got a Stanley knife, chopped out the middle guy, and then popped him in the middle. So I've gone a little bit more to town on these. Don't know if that's focusing. But where do you stop? Where do you stop with the highlights? They are only 12mm after all. Well, 13.5 mil. So that's Confederates. And of course you get an artillery piece with them. Put them off to one side. And there is the Confederate gun. I've just used Luke's APS Mediterranean soil mix for the basing. Trying to keep it simple. I really don't think that's focusing because it's so small. Anyway, put them on there. Let's get them spinning. So I've got one brigade of each now and one cannon for each. I'll just wait till this comes round and then I'll move everything about a bit and we'll start talking about my thoughts on the whole thing. So the first thing I want to talk about is the sculpts themselves. Now I initially saw them and I thought they look awful. But in actual fact, they are quite nice sculpts indeed. My only bugbear would be that on this sprue, apart from the command front rank, there are only two other poses for these 10 guys. So you're a bit limited with that. You know, I'd have thought they could have just made each individual line slightly different. My next bugbear is this officer guy. You're going to get one of him on every single sprue. Now, if they've sculpted his arm into the horse, if they'd have kept that arm separate, it gave you a lot more opportunity to do conversions and stuff. I mean, you can easily do a head swap, but because it's sculpted into the horse, his arm itself, it's going to be really difficult to move that arm about and just change his pose slightly to give you a little bit of variation. That brings me to the cannon crew. So the only guy that can be moved is this one. All the others, if you see, they're all sculpted onto the actual gun itself. I mean, they could have just moved that guy forward just a couple of mil, and then he'd have been separate. And then that would give you an option just to move stuff about slightly. But because of their sculpted, well, I mean that guy, not that guy, but that guy and these two guys, because they're sculpted onto the gun, it's going to be extremely difficult to change anything. So all your guns are going to kind of look the same. So one of the other questions I see get asked a lot is scale. And what scale they actually are. Now, if you've got a 15mm ACW army already and you're thinking, oh, I'll get some of these because they look quite nice, I'll add to the army, you're going to be very disappointed, because that guy there is 15mm. That guy there is the Warlord guy, and that's an AB 18mm. So as you can see, he is a lot smaller than your normal 15mm. That's a 15mm Forging Battle Roman, and he is considerably smaller. So the best scale I've seen is Kallistra 12mm, and I think Kallistra 12mm, the difference between the two is barely noticeable. So these are not 15mm, they're more like 13.5mm, which is, you know, what they say they are. But the Kallistra 12mm, from what I've seen, I haven't got any unfortunately to show you, but they are the best option, I think. So because they're plastic, they are going to be quite easy to convert. Now this guy is the command guy that I chopped out. I haven't got any green stuff unfortunately, so what I've done is I rolled up a little bit of blue tack and stuck it where I've chopped his arm off, or where I cut him off the line of the sprue. So it'll be reusable when I get a little bit of green stuff and tidy that up, and I'll be able to stick him on a command base or something. And the other thing, this is the same guy. You see I haven't put anything on that one, but I just chopped his arm off and changed the arm position. So you've got a completely different model now because you've just moved that arm, and that's kind of what I was talking about with the cavalry. That if the arm had been separate from the horse, you could have done this. You could have moved the arm about and got some different poses. But with them being plastic, you know, it's going to be quite easy to chop into them and chop and change and do a little bit of conversions and stuff. So obviously the idea behind these guys is, you know, you want that massed army look. But here is my bugbear with it. So let's say you're playing on a 6 foot by 4 foot table and you want these guys to be in line. Like so. The actual footprint now of that unit is 300mm or 12 inches. So if you're playing on a 6 by 4 table, if you put them base to base all the way across, you're only getting 6 units on. And obviously you're going to want to leave a little bit of a gap. So realistically, you're only looking at 5 units in line. And you know, you do want that mass battle look, but you're going to get the same kind of look from 28mm, which is going to have the same frontal footprint. So my thoughts on this are that you'd be better just having a unit of 3 guys like this, and then making up another command stand and having slightly smaller units. I mean, they still look good. You don't get that depth like that, but I think they still look good with 3 bases. And then when you open them out into line, the footprint's a lot smaller. You can get a lot more units on. Plus, if you only have 3 bases per unit, you can command much bigger armies. because you're going to have line after line after line of these guys, and it'll look just as nice as having the 5 base units. So you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck. But clearly you only get one of these command sprues in the on the actual sprue itself, so you won't be able to get them separate. But again, this brings me back to the Kallistra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my laptop and we'll have a look at the Kallistra website, and I'll show you what I've just ordered. Excuse shaky hand while I go on to here. So what we'll do is we'll just go down to the American Civil War stuff, and I've gone for the, let's have a look at the Union Command figures. Now, because I've seen somebody else do a video of these, I know that these are going to match up really well. So I've ordered a blister of the, well, 2 blisters of them, because I've ordered the £90 box set. And what else have I got? Let me just have a look. I've got some Limber Teams as well on order. So they're pretty cool. I've got one each, Union and Confederate. And then I've gone for some personalities. So I've gone for them guys as well. Now, if you go onto the Kallistra website, you can order 6 of these £6 packs and you only actually pay for 5. So that is, there we go, 6, 4, 5 army deal. Buy 6, you only pay 5. So I think that's pretty good. Let's have a look at some of the artwork of these guys. So there's a Kallistra battlefield all set up. So this is the kind of look you're going to get with this Warlord stuff, but there's more men to a base, so it'll probably look even more impressive than this. And your footprints of units, if you only use 3 stands, you can have about the same footprint as these guys, which is a lot better. So in conclusion, these guys are really easy to convert, as you can see by me putting these guys in the commands. And I think I wanted to hate them. At first I did hate them, but now I actually quite like them. And I've ordered the £90 set because I think the £90 set gives you the best value. With the amount of troops that you get in there. If you bought the boxes separately at £20 a box, they would cost you £160, and you get that same amount for £90. So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to get that. Now I want to go down to W.H. Smith, see if it's open. I don't even know, because it might be shut because of lockdown, and get another one of these magazines. So I've got spare guys to make up my extra commands, because I think whatever happens, I'm going to go with 3 base battalions rather than the 5, because it'll give me more battalions to play with, and the footprint is not as wide, and I think that'll be better. So I will take some stills of these, put them on at the end, and quickly going to run through the colours. So for the Union troops, I use Cantor Blue, GW, and then I dry brush that with Prussian Blue, Vallejo. The trousers were Sky Blue, deep Sky Blue even, and everything else is my normal colours. I'm doing this just so I've got a reference for when I repaint these. The trousers, I've actually found another paint. Becca's told me about it. It's pale blue, so I'll be using that on the trousers in future. And then I washed the trousers and jackets with Gilliman Blue glaze, just to tone everything down a little bit. All the blanket rolls London Grey, kept these very similar, and that's it for the Union. Confederates, so I use my undercoat spray, which is grey, which is kind of a light grey colour, and that's the colour I use to highlight the grey. The yellowy butternut colour is German camo orange ochre. The brown is just flat brown. And all of them have just had one highlight of that base colour after it's been inked. And is there anything else? And I think that's... Oh yeah, and the trousers, the blue trousers again, just got sky blue with Gilliman wash over the top. But as I say, I'll be changing that trouser colour when I get that paint pale blue. Now, I think these are out at the end of February, so I've got some time before I have to paint any more. It took a bit longer to paint than I anticipated, but by the end of it, I did like them. So, I'd be interested to hear anyone else's thoughts, what you think of them, what you think of the different battalion sizes that I'm going to go for. I'll say I'll just chop out some of these guys and put the metal Kallistra ones in to replace them, and then I'll have 3 base battalions, because I think for the width of the footprint that would be a lot better than having 5 bases. Just my personal opinion. As I say, I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. I'll do a quick flyby, take some stills. I thought I'd do a quick flyby because I always do a flyby and I hadn't done one yet. So the Confederates are looking very like militia, which I wanted. Union troops, once I've chopped all them hats up, if I can find the video, I'll put a link in the description of where I got that idea from. But it just makes them look a little bit more uniform, which I quite like. The Confederates looking very ragtag, which is also what I wanted. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts. I'll be interested to hear what you think. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.